sell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad need pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more desto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, that make pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Ay, 16 cars in my front yard. Ay, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Ay, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ay, she want it like me, cause I blame she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts. Whole team counting, that's a big number.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready?
Get ready, dog.
Start so high. We giving the show, but can you rock it like rocket fuel? Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints you rock. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing, relieving the kings of all crowns. So are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all, keep the flow. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about, space or
generation, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't panic surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog.
Well, they say an early season snowstorm may be on deck in less than 48 hours, but today is picture-perfect fall football weather. Crisp and cool at Soldier Field in the Windy City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
At their own 18-yard line.
Ready? Sub. They scared. What's that?
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself the best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So from the 36 now, first and 10.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Now Allen. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down.
61, matchbox, lights. In the middle, 55. Not today, you aren't. Not today. Hey, check Mike. Watch 55. You don't get.
Here's Allen on first and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Allen's throw is complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that defense like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit.
Allen hit. He lost the football. And the ball ends up out of bounds, so it'll be a loss on the play. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
I'm coming for you, son.
To the air, Allen. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 25 yards that time. Allen going to throw.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal. Now Allen. He'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's third and goal. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line.
The Vikings take over first.
Let's go. Let's do this.
At their own 31-yard line.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10.
I got it. Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
Now they'll run on the draw. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
White.
Now Garoppolo. His throw incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion.
Hey, Haywood.
Garoppolo to throw on 3rd and 1. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. The pickup there, 5 yards.
Here we go. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54.
On first down, Garoppolo. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 down at the 33. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They felt they had the advantage. They felt they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. They got to get to the 23 here on third.
Lock. Mike's 54. 54.
Garoppolo again. He'll buy some time right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
6-6, pull it high.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
5 wide.
On play action, Allen. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, Do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
What you got, Heavy? Give me some.
To throw,
Give me some.
it's Allen. And going deep. It got his man. Complete. Touchdown, Chicago.
Good job,
Tyreek Hill.
Good job.
77 yards as the Bears push further out in front. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch. Take it to the house.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here we go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. Here we go. What do you need? I'm here. One, Omaha. Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54, Mike. Hey, gun. Go.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
Hey, watch the sled.
Garoppolo now. First down throw. And the catch made by Johnson. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Watch 54. Watch 54. You must be. I got you. Hey, Charlie. Hey, watch Sam. Check Mike.
Throwing again on second down. Garoppolo over the middle, and it's incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Hey, wahoo!
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game, because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Hey, Alpha.
On first down, Allen. Buying time to his left. That's to McCaffrey, complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Now a first carry for their fullback. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
That's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And going deep for Hill. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Still second quarter, you get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
I'm coming. Check. Watch 54. Hey, Echo. Check pass. Hey, watch Sam. Check Mike, 54.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Open man is Samuel, complete.
I'm coming after you.
Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Here we go.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Garoppolo. Throw right side, going to be complete to Moss. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain it.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big gain, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Here's Matt Weil now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down, eluding the pressure right. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And going deep for Hill. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. On play action, Allen. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Here we go,
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
That's complete to the receiver, Thielen.
Here we go.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Garoppolo now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. That's Samuel, caught left side. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Hey, gun. Hold this. Hey, watch Sam. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Looking to throw again on second down. Garoppolo nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
I got you. 54 Mike. Watch the run. Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
From midfield, here's Garoppolo. He's going to air into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Allen going to throw. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Incomplete. It's now 4th down.
And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. Here's Allen. He's got his tight end Fant.
Let's go, boys.
So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 40. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation. Allen hit. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Allen now on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Noah Fant, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13.
13.
There's Garoppolo to throw. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 33. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? for the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirt.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. So after the INT, it's Allen. They complete it to Hill. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. Allen now on first down. Got a man open. It's Sutton. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. To throw again on second down. Allen, that one complete to Hill. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Allen to throw once more. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was looking to go back to Sutton there, but it'll be second and goal.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal.
You must be dreaming. Some. 57's Mike.
Now Allen again. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Taking it in from 7 yards away as the Bears push further out in front.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake.
Run, go!
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. They've got this big lead. They said, forget 1, we want 2. Instead, they got 0.
Unbelievable they didn't even attempt it from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to clown them a little bit.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go!
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Now on second and 13. Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on third and long? In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Eric Armstead able to record his 5th sack of the season.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. They're inching closer and closer here to the wrong goal line.
When you're backed up like that, all you're trying to do is make sure you don't give up a big play, right? You don't miss an assignment that really gets you into more trouble.
And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. They were already backed up. Now they're backed up further.
I think they were being so careful to make sure all assignments were covered that they ended up running themselves out of time.
being hit. I've been working for this moment like I've been in the gym. Jumping all over hurdles, I'm evading the pit. Get to here with anybody, take them, I can shake them. I invite them to the fire, then I bake them. I'ma break them. I'm a Hall of Fame legend, they should go and hang my jersey. Made to put in work, I don't think they really heard me like. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Ain't no stopping me, ain't no topping me. I am up, number one seed, ain't nobody popping up. Got a squad of gorillas from the jungle suited up. You kicking off against me, hope you ready, get it up. I be booted up, popping out a sprinter or a truck. Whole team chasing bags while they chasing us. Calling audible, I read the game, I think it's time to switch. You get hit, if I miss, then my teammates got the blitz, yeah. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains.
I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Hit first off the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, how about it? How about it? You want it, you have it, you got it. Go snatch it, start the lot. Go ahead, jump it, how about it? How about it? Rep for your bro, for your poster, popping your projects. Pain driven, itching, drumming. Look how far we coming. Heartbeat on the streets, you can do it. Ain't built for the weekend. Sweet, this sugar, one man army, but get deep. Watch what you doing. I ain't damaged goods, damn it out the clay. You wish you could. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Hit first off the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, so suspenseful, I'm up in the field. Saw it in my eyes, it was the Tiger Hill. Gon' jump off the line and see the flight of field. Rewrite your history off this line right here. Your best bet be ahead, easy to get rich or dead trying. This ain't never new, I just be 10 steps instead. Snooze I won't, I can't lose, ready, rest or a bed. Do what you can to do, make your next move your best. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Hit first off the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I keep it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Let's go. Hit first off the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal.
We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lag. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons. And ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking. no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die.
STRO. Yeah.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
STRO. I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I'm made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support bra. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time. Another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winter side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the wind. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way when my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way when my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
Are you ready for some football? Ladies and gentlemen, yeah.
the mic, I'm giving mad and blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass.
Well, they say an early season snowstorm may be on deck in less than 48 hours, but today is picture-perfect fall football weather. Crisp and cool at Soldier Field in the Windy City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
All day, baby, all day.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Mike, 57's Mike. Good. Watch the twist. Tight. Joker. Watch the edge. 80 weapon.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Get nowhere.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
57 to Mike.
Allen now looks to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick, and I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
All day.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Bravo. Hey, watch them. Check Mike 54. Mike. Lock. That's lock. They don't want it.
Garoppolo now. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
They're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
At the 43-yard line.
56.
57's the Mike. Watch 57.
Buzz.
Pick it up. 57's the Mike.
On 2nd and 7. Allen escaping the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Now Allen.
Let's go, defense. Let's get off this field.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. This is going to be a good one-on-one battle to watch. Both of these guys play the game at the highest level.
Both of them are terrific competitors. They play the game with great athleticism and smarts as well.
And in this early round, the defense wins.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Ricardo Allen with a pick. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
And now this pass brought in by Brown. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On the carry, it's Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Mike, 54.
Watch the run, watch the run.
65, 65. 63.
On second and 12, Garoppolo. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Rosas good with the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
With it is Brown. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Check, 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 check.
They run, Cook. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
3 buzz, 3 buzz, 3 buzz.
Here we go.
Alert flare, alert flare.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And our statistician, Ben Ramsar, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss. We're only in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now, because what you're hearing is, can someone please block him? Come up with a scheme, come up with something. Make sure you block him because he's disrupting everything.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
54's Mike. Check, check.
To throw is Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Hill on the return. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
What we got?
Half 85.
Throwing now is Allen.
I'm coming.
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed.
And he's going to go down again. Daniil Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Over the middle, it's complete. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here comes the Bears punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we would be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today. So they got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On the sneak is Garoppolo. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the 1st.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Now this time, Garoppolo will throw. Got a man, it's Brown. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line.
12. Hey, gun. Hey, Haywood.
Mike's 5'4".
Check Mike.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Garoppolo. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
He wasn't ready.
Here we go.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now Garoppolo. And he finds Cook. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Garoppolo on the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. To throw, it's Garoppolo. He finds McKinnon, complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. Screen play, McKinnon. And he will score. Touchdown,
Give me the ball every
Vikings.
time, fellas. I'm going to
Jimmy Garoppolo with his second touchdown pass of this first half. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way.
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Aaron Donald make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
57's the mic. Watch 57. Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
Another try after the first down sack. Allen, open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. The 30, the 20, 10, 5, and he takes it down deep into enemy territory.
Let's go.
A big play there on the catch and run. 82 yards.
First and goal at the 40.
So that's about as long a non-scoring play as you're going to see from inside their own 10 to first and goal. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Christian McCaffrey, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Garoppolo. That's going to be caught by Samuel. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining.
Get him, boys!
We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Watch out for Hill on the return. Now, a nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 40-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive. I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now on 2nd and 13. Allen, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Down 80! Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
On play action, Allen. Flushed out right. And going deep for Hill. And I I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hey, watch Sam, watch Sam. Check Mike, 54. Hey, Zoo. Yeah.
There's Garoppolo to throw. Complete. It's Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings.
13.
Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. Open man is Samuel, complete.
Here we go.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, gun. White.
At the 42-yard line.
Go.
Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Now Garoppolo lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
65. I got you.
56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56.
Hey, Charlie.
Let's focus. Mike 56. Mike 56.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Here we go.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 38-yard line. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard.
Here we go.
As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle. You put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long?
Mike's 5'4", Mike's 5'4", Mike's 5'4".
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19.
It's gotten to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers, too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
Here we go,
No move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
Mike's 54. Mike's 50.
Lock.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Hey, wahoo! I got you.
Sam, check Mike 54.
Six.
Mike 54. Here we go.
They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. This is caught. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Rosas to add the extra point. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he's going to get taken down inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Watch the out.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10.
Watch the screen.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
57's the Mike.
Alpha.
57's the Mike.
Throwing again. Allen.
Watch the pass.
Steps away to his left. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed the quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working.
Here we go.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Switch it. 11.
Give to Cook out of the gun. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Watch 54. Okay, double up.
Hey, watch Sam. Check.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Interception all day, baby. Let's get this. Check nickel.
Pilot, 64, weak.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Let's bring.
Hey, Delta.
In his own end zone, it's Allen rolling, and they're going to sack him again. The 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender.
Oh.
To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points.
56 is the mic.
Hey, gun. 21.
56. Mike, 56.
11. 11. 11. 11.
Yeah. Check three. Deuce.
Check.
They'll run on first down. Samuel. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
2. I can't believe it.
Right there.
Smoke.
Right there. 54 Mike.
Garoppolo now. Dancing to his left. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, Foxtrot.
54's Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Don't let him breathe.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. This defense tried to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
5-7.
To throw is Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
On 1st down, Allen forced out to his left. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Push him back.
Middle.
Hey, switch gears.
Hey, orbit.
To throw again. Allen being chased out left. Now he'll throw deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 29. And his guys are going to have the football back as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4.
11.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Throw left side complete to Moss. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Hey, exit.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Got a man, it's Brown. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.